Hello everyone, this is Cindy and Jolie from Internest, the place where we help students in Japan land their dream internships. Landing that long-term internship in Japan can be challenging, but don't you worry, because at Internest, we are here to make that journey a whole lot smoother. In addition to sharing open internship positions, providing personalized feedback on your application documents, we are thrilled to introduce our new podcast series. Here, we sit down with Senpai to spill the beans on everything internship related. From insider tips on crafting killer resume to mastering the art of networking. Consider this your backstage pass to internship success. So, stay tuned!
So today our very special guest, Akbar. He's actually a MEXT Scholar in Kyoto University. So we are calling from Tokyo to Kyoto now. And previously, he studied in the same university as me and Cindy, which is Toyo University, where he studied global innovation studies with a full ride scholarship. And while an undergraduate, Akbar was a very active student. He was actively involved in various campus activities, while at the same time also juggling various internships such as Bosch, Siemens, and Allianz. And he is from Uzbekistan. Is there anything else you would like to tell us more about yourself, Akbar?
No, absolutely. You over mentioned it, like you took, exaggerated a little bit more, but yeah.
No.
But yeah, nothing to add.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we can dive into the first question.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So actually we are very curious about you, Akbar, because you did so many internships in so many different companies, big companies. And when looking at your internship history, you start finding internship very early on, like since second year of university. Can you tell us why did you decide to focus on finding internships since the very early days of your university life?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The first number one reason was I really wanted to apply the theoretical knowledge I learned in the academia in the real world. And in Japan, especially if you are a student, being a student is a really big title, because when you do something as a student, it's really different from doing something as a student and as a shakaijin, the professional. Sorry, Jolie, you're shakaijin, but I need to tell. But you did a lot in your student time. So, yeah. So as a student, you have a really good, title. You can do a lot of things which get good, how do you say, for which you get accolade for just for being a student. And that's the reason I wanted to try something different. And I wanted to apply the theoretical knowledge I learned in university. And also I was not really sure in which orientation I will be going as a professional. I really knew what to study, but I didn't know in which background in the future I will be going as a professional. So I think it was the idea to try to get into the fields, random fields, to find myself.
That's very interesting that you mentioned the differences between shakaijin and gakusei, because I feel it.
Same. I also feel it.
Well, you're still a student, Cindy. What
Yeah,
do you
I
mean you
am.
feel it? What do you feel, Cindy?
I feel like it's like between academic life and work life, you know, it's really different things. Yeah.
Like you are treated differently in university and at work.
Yeah. The ways work is also like work is more serious way. And but like in university it's like easier, like I mean like easier in a social way.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see. But I think like what I experience, what I feel more is a bit like when you are a student, seems like people appreciate more because they see you, I think they don't really expect much from you.
True.
So when you perform good, they will be like, oh, so great. But like as shakaijin, it feels like you're expected to perform. So, you know, like, yeah, you better do good kind of thing. But also as a student, I feel like if you want to try opportunities and you ask someone, people are kind to you.
True.
Yeah, people want to help you. Good point, Akbar. Okay, so got it. So because you want to explore more about what you want to do in the work life.
Yes, so basically 2 points. First one, I wanted to see the real world a little bit, so which is like applying the skills learned in the academia in the real world. And second point, well, yeah, finding out who I am. Like, what is my good point? Like, what is where I'm good at? So, yeah, please.
Okay, I see. I think Cindy later will ask you more about that. But right now I want to ask you that how did you find the internship opportunities? Because each time we met during our time in Toyo, seems like you always have different internships.
Yeah, I think they are mostly I heavily rely on LinkedIn. There are actually two ways I use. I use to find internships. First one is LinkedIn. You can actually set a lot of job alerts for the keywords like internship and intern, for example. There are two different words, and some job postings match the word intern but don't match internship. So you can set a lot of keywords like intern, internship, intern in Nihongo de. So you get a lot of job postings as a first
Oh.
on LinkedIn, and as actually the method of employing long-term interns is quite widespread in gaishike, in foreign companies based in Japan. They actually many of them actually use LinkedIn to post jobs. And in Japan, compared to other countries, LinkedIn is not. It's popular, but not really number one as in the West. So taking the advantage of LinkedIn may give students good high probability of finding internships in top companies. So that's how I found two of my internships. And another thing is a lot of, as I said, foreign companies regularly employ long-term interns, and simply going to their career section helps as well, because there also you can set job alert. So when there is a job posting for the keyword like intern or internship, you get the notification. So I use two ways in conclusion. First, LinkedIn second, directly checking their HR page.
I see. Okay. May I know, so at that time when you applied to various internship positions, in total, how many companies or how many job openings did you try to apply to?
Well, I applied for many actually. I don't know, maybe it's hundreds.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's really impressive.
or more than
Okay.
100. I once tried to count the rejection letters I received, but I gave up because there were lots. So
You gave up.
yeah, I just confused in the middle where I was, like 70 something, 70, and then 80 something. So yeah, I think there were around 100 or maybe more rejections I received.
Wow.
Yeah.
100 is more than what people usually apply for a real job.
Yeah, but it's really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, I think I was also trying to find opportunity through LinkedIn, but I think that I didn't utilize like all of the LinkedIn function and I type in the right keyword. So I think this Akbar advice on LinkedIn is really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can even some of the internship postings do not match the words like intern or internship, so you can also set alert like job for entry-level job based in, let's say, Kanto or Tokyo, and there are also internships appear in such notifications as well, in such category as well. Yeah, so LinkedIn is quite good actually.
How did you find out? Like you just try like some keyword?
Yes. Well, I don't know if I can show display my screen or not, but I can explain it at least. So basically, when you search, let's say, intern on LinkedIn, you still see some jobs, but you can also set the alert. So there is on the LinkedIn page, you see the setting job alert, so you can just turn it on. Or you can also go to your own profile and see the alerts you have set for yourself. So there you can also manually add.
Thank you. It's really good advice for our audience.
Okay. And since you were juggling your academic life and you also had non-extracurricular activities, plus, I mean, you joined also competitions and internships. How did you manage your time?
I think I don't keep this rule in the vacation, for example, in the holidays like winter break or spring break, but usually I wake up early. So I think number one thing is waking up early and managing doing some homework at school, at university. Also, I usually don't work really, really hard. I just try to find the efficient way to find the solution for the task I'm doing at work. So I think utilizing, for example, weekend is also quite a good idea. Saturday, Sunday, where we don't work. So I think it's still possible. I don't think it's a problematic to manage to do all these things for a student. It is really possible.
Mm.
100%.
What time do you wake up? Five?
In holiday or in the school time?
School time.
Okay, in school time, usually like 6 or 5 or something.
How about in
Oh.
holiday?
Holiday like 12 in the afternoon or 11 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, that's great. But yeah, I think that's a good advice though. I think actually when I believe when people say they don't have time for something, it's not that they don't have the time, but they don't prioritize it enough. Because come on, you've got 24 hours a day, and yeah, like there could be some ways that you can actually allocate some time for something you want to do or something you have to do
Mhm.
if you really put your mind into it.
True.
Yes,
Mm.
and you know, there is I also have this. So there's the habit to procrastinate. So basically laziness.
Mhm.
The way I found for myself to cure this thing is quick running, or you know, like running takes very short time. Like in 5 minutes, you can run quite a long distance actually, or
Mm.
just 10 minutes or something. So when you come after running, you would feel, at least I feel, to motivate to do my things. So I feel lazy because I was not doing anything serious in before I start my tasks or homework or something. So quick running or quick exercise helps me a lot.
Mm.
I actually read one article about it as well, so that's why I started this habit as well. So quick exercise actually stimulates the brain to do activities. So that's the tactic I use for myself to combat procrastination.
Mm. Or do you think also because your schedule is so packed, like you have so many things to do, so you cannot really waste your time, right? So you don't really have the time to take a break to do something uh that is, not really in your list of tasks to do. So you are very, very conscious of your time, and you use them more wisely because you have many things to do.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I learned from Japanese people is to keep calendar, the schedule.
Mm.
This really helps. Keeping the schedule and really organizing your day is really good. Yeah.
Mm. Motivational Akbar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so I have like another question for you. Is that like how big of an impact do internship had on your career and your personal life?
Oh, okay. Mm. At least I learned the real world is different.
Mm.
For example, last year, I can give you an example. Last year, the Silicon Valley Bank, let me not just tell the name, but there are a few banks which went bankrupt in the US,
I
right?
think people know it's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. So, for example, the way we feel as a student in academia and the way we feel as professionals is really different.
True.
And also, I learned that there is much to learn, much knowledge to observe, and much knowledge to receive, which I didn't So it's I learned that I need to learn a lot. Yeah, I got some practical experience like coding or Excel, for example, and manipulating Excel things, or I don't know, coding or something. I became good at those things. That's another point. But also I learned that I need to learn a lot in my own sphere. So I started, I would say internships gave me earlier chance to prepare as a professional for the future.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because like the first time I joined internship, I feel like I'm just a little kid, like don't know anything about it. And yeah, I realized that I have to learn more from my mentor. And yeah, I feel like I kind of equip myself the knowledge and everything to prepare myself for professional life. Yeah, I can feel that.
And for example, when you change your company or industry, for example, you can really experience the judgment you can make for yourself, saying, okay, this is the right industry for me, or maybe I need to try another industry.
True.
Because once you get in to a particular industry as a professional after graduating, it's slightly difficult to change your industry.
I see.
For example, if you worked in particular industry for 5 or 6 years, then there is a high chance that you will be staying in the industry, whether you want or don't want.
That's true.
So internships, I highly recommend them to find out oneself, who we are, like, what is our what we are good at, what is the right industry and the right company for us. Because each company has, although similar but different, corporate background, corporate environment, work style, they are different.
So like following up to your answer, I think with that many internship experience you have, I think people would assume that you join the workforce right after you graduate, but you just like pursuing a master degree. So is this choice, like I was wondering, is this choice related to something you discover during your internship?
Yes, absolutely. There are two reasons actually. I decided to go to master's degree. First one is the research topic I wanted to pursue. Well, in my past 2 internships, the companies I worked as an intern have the goal of achieving carbon neutrality. So carbon neutrality is a goal for many companies nowadays.
That's true.
And for example, as I think Bosch has already achieved carbon neutrality. So it was a really interesting research topic that I discovered during my internship. So I wanted to learn more about it in the graduate school. Another thing is, so that's the first point. Second point is, I realized that although I had equipped myself with practical knowledge, I still didn't have theoretical knowledge a lot. Some specific knowledge. So I wouldn't say it's the MBA, but it's kind of good metaphor to compare. So usually people work for 5 years, then do MBA, right? To further deepen their knowledge. I can compare that to my choice of graduate school, actually.
I see. Mhm. So also like you apply through conventional ways like job opening and then that you prepare CV and then you do interview. But how did you make yourself stand out from the other competitors? Yeah.
Sure. Each time I failed in application or in interview, I learned something new. And I can say that all those 100 plus rejections taught me is to be confident,
Mm,
to not being nervous, because whether I am nervous or not, it doesn't being nervous doesn't actually really help. It rather distracts me and decreases my morale, right? So the number one thing I learned is not being nervous. So being confident in interviews. And being confident means being able to answer all the questions confidently. And not being nervous actually really boosts your morale. And it leaves such an impression that the recruiter or the hiring manager will see you as a good candidate.
I also have a advice from one of the mentor I have in the company that she applied like many company and like there's her priorities company and like less priority company. So she took the chance of interview less priority company as a practice for the real one. So I think it's also like a good like we apply many as we can and then we keep practicing and to boost our confidence to answer like questions. I think it's also a good way.
Yes.
Okay, Akbar, last question for you is what do you think is a killer CV?
Killer CV.
Yep.
Sorry, killer CV means good CV or bad CV?
Yeah, like
Outstanding CV.
Okay,
yeah,
outstanding CV.
outstanding.
Well, if you have previous work experience, it doesn't matter if it's 1 year or 2 years or 2 months. If you have at least something to list on your resume, be specific. For example, if you, let's say, did some volunteering activity, right? You can just list it. And let's say you have no internship experience but you did some volunteering things, and you can say, well, we did charity for this many thousand people. We achieved this particular specific results, and you need to provide numbers. So if you really provide numbers, it will be obvious and it really leaves the good impression for the recruiter that you actually did achieve a result, good result. Soft skills are important, but it's also important, I would say, equally important to list the specific goals you achieved. So give numbers. For example, you can say, okay, I was in I don't know, like coding club as a volunteer, and we did that coding that reduced that many hours per week or something. So you can give numbers.
Yeah, that's really good advice, like to show what we dedicate ourselves to that organization, to the interviewer. I think it's really important. It's all about like self PR.
Yes, and good profile picture, because the hiring manager has to usually check many applicants, and the first thing their eyes will be catching is the picture. So it may be expensive a little bit, but I really recommend going to a professional photographer and just make let him take the picture of you and just list it on your CV.
I see. Okay, that's a good advice. Now I think I should retake my picture because I took it myself. So I think I will change.
And also, especially in Japan, you can actually list your certificates. If you have some particular certificate in the resume, you can actually paste the link of it. So once the hiring manager sees, for example, let's say you have IELTS or something, then you can embed the link in the Word, Microsoft Word. And once the hiring manager, let's say, sees your resume and clicks the IELTS, let's say, that link will lead to the online version of your certificate.
Well, that's pretty good advice. I wish I had this talk like before I send out my CV because I have this Google data analysis certificate and I just put it there. I don't link it. So now hearing from you, I feel like it's really helpful.
You can edit this on Microsoft Word and save it and export it, so it will export like PDF. So it really proves that okay, you have this, and
Like
it's really
real,
powerful.
yeah.
Yep.
Jolie, we have only 3 minutes left, but
Okay.
you want to close?
Akbar, 1 minute last message to all the audience that want to find internship or like is not sure yet whether they need an internship or not.
Sorry, I couldn't catch your last word.
Okay, sorry. Let's make it simpler. Do you have any 1 minute message to the audience out there that is trying to find an internship?
So try to make good use of LinkedIn and try to go to the career sections of the companies, and don't be nervous in the interview. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Akbar, for spending your precious Sunday morning with us.
No
I think
problem.
this is really helpful for like
Yeah.
advice from it would be really helpful to the first year student to kind of planning their 4 year how to spend their time and organizing like which year they should do internship. So yeah, thank you so much.
Sorry, I forgot one more message.
Yes.
Okay.
Try to use your weekends really, really well, effectively.
Like us?
I mean for the applicants, like for whoever sees this video, please try to use your weekends effectively.